Hey folks, welcome to Grounded. This is version 1.4.7, and I'm Uncle Plays. Thanks for tuning in. Let's kick off a brand new single-player game. There are 3 difficulty options: mild, medium, and low. We are going with medium, which is balanced and great for most players. I'll stick with the default character, Max.
Hey, nice to meet you. The name's Max. Maxwell Smalls.
You can't run from me, you foul beast! You think you outsmarted me? The mighty Mulder? I don't think so, Yoked Girth!
Stay tuned for what happens next on Yoked Girth. Now a word from our sponsor.
Kids, are you ready for a new wild and wacky Puncho fruit flavor? Introducing Apricot. It's a punch to the gut. So stop by, fill up, and make sure you get your Billy Hog hot dog before you jet away.
Good morning, Brook Hollow. Today is October 20, 1990. This is your news. We have a special breaking report. The police department has released information that more local teenagers have gone missing. They were last seen earlier this week, and the only connection between the teenagers is that they are all students at Brook Hollow High School. This could be linked to the disturbing trend of other possible abductions and missing teenagers from our otherwise quiet town. If anyone has seen the teenagers or has any other information, please contact the police department. The mayor of Brook Hollow has put a curfew into effect for anyone under 18 starting tonight. Now to other news. In the business world, Ominous Practical Technology signed a new deal with
What? Damn.
We start off in the backyard,
Where am
and the
I?
first task is to explore the
Those
surroundings.
roots?
Basic movement is like most
Nah,
survival games,
I
space
can't.
to jump and shift to sprint.
This must be one of those prank TV shows.
Right away, grab whatever you can. Plant fibers, mushrooms, and pebbles. These are essential for early tools and food.
What was that? Some sort of radio signal? I wonder where it's coming from.
We'll soon come across a field station, and inside is an analyzer. Let's analyze a few things.
Well, someone had to have
First,
set up
the
all this
plant
sciencey
fiber.
stuff here.
This unlocks screwed rope,
But
fiber
still,
bandit,
I'm
and
not
plant
exactly
slurry.
sure
Also
where
gives
this
us
is
brain
and
power.
What is going on? I should keep looking around.
Next, sprig. Super useful. It unlocks spiky sprig, trail marker, and the roasting spit. Then the pebblet. This one unlocks our first weapon and harvesting tool, the pebblet axe. Now the analyzer's battery is drained, so we'll have to wait for it to recharge. Before leaving the fuel station, check the terminal. There's a food and safety memo from Dr. Wendell Tully, which starts revealing the spacer research storyline. The next task is to gather food and look for more science
I'm not
equipment.
picky.
Press V to open the crafting menu. Let's start by crafting a pebblet axe. We'll need several sprigs, pebblets, and a crude rope. Next, let's make a pebblet spear. Grab another fiber and we are good. Once we have a weapon, the game teaches us about blocking. Hold right-click to block, and if your timing is right, you can do a perfect block, which blocks most of damage. Super useful in combat. Let's head back to the analyzer now that it's recharged. We'll analyze crude rope, which unlocks a bunch of important items. Sprig bow, acorn shovel, pebblet hammer, canteen. And even clover armor set. Speaking of a hammer, let's make the pebblet hammer our first busting tool. Still need more pebblets. Also, the acorn shovel needs an acorn shell, which we can't get yet. Alright, time to find some water.
Wow, what is that? I
Up
see
ahead
you.
is a net. Now open up the
Yes.
Data tab and take a look at the Peeper section. This is where we can examine details on peeped creatures. The net we just saw, yeah, it's listed there. As we progress, all discovered creatures will show up here. Super handy. Earlier I drank some dirty water, yeah. Not a great idea. Now the game reminds us, let's find some clean water this time. Next, the game teaches us how to switch between first-person and third-person view. Just press U anytime to swap your camera angle.
I was a fool to have ever doubted myself. A fool like Klein, like Kaminsky, like Schmechter, like all of Ominent. I am here in the backyard. Down in the backyard. I mean, I am speaking to you from the backyard. I am tiny! I should gather my thoughts. This is a momentous occasion. Wendell Tolley official log 89.08.05. Recording as I take my first steps into the miniature world. The sights are unbelievable. The textures, the way the light falls upon every surface, the subtle patterns in all of the objects that surround me, the grass. Even common lawn grass looks like a structure from an alien world. Wait. What's that sound? The very earth is trembling. Over there, what could it be? An ant! My God, today, the world has changed forever.
Let's go ahead and activate the machine.
Showtime.
Now
Just
check
like
the
laser
lasers.
tag.
One of them is blocked
Nothing
by a
happened.
grass blade.
Looks like the
Let's
other
chop
two
it
lasers
down
are
to clear the
blocked.
path.
After all that build-up, this big mysterious computer doesn't do anything.
Quick tip here, if you chop down a blade of grass and also hit the stump, you'll get more plum fiber. That's a nice little trick to speed up gathering. No need to search around the ground for scraps.
Whoa, look at the size of that ant. Honestly,
The second
on
laser
planet, it's not
looks
big enough
weak
to squish
or
it.
unstable, kind of flickering. Let's go investigate that next. On the way, keep picking up tablets and materials. They'll come in handy. Look up. See that shiny droplet hanging off a grass blade? That's clean water. A dewdrop. Hit the grass and the water will fall. Just slurp it up. Next, we follow the weak laser to its source.
Looks like that
At the
little
base,
red
they
thing
found
itching
mites
for a fight.
chewing on the wire. Let's deal with those. Follow the electric cable into the tunnel. It's mite central down here. It's pretty dark, but now we've unlocked a new tool, the torch, a new quest to go with it. The game shows icons to highlight nearby crafting materials, super helpful. We still need dry grass chunks, but no worries, there's some right next to us. Crafted the torch. Done. Let's dive into the cave.
Flash.
Now we'll need a pebblet hammer to break through the rocks blocking our path. Let's craft one now.
What the heck? Is something
Inside the
burrowing
cave,
under there?
we find sturdy quartzite and sturdy marble, but we can't mine them yet. We need a tier 2 hammer for that. We'll come back later. Let's head out for now.
Hey, buddy.
There's a weevil wandering nearby. Let's take it down. Weevils are great early game creatures. They drop meat, and we'll need that to unlock the Weevil shield soon. Back at the spacer. Let's activate the machine again.
something that sounded like a big far-off explosion?
New mission: investigate the explosion at the oak tree. But before we rush off, let's stop by the fuel station and scan a few things. First, scan Weevil meat. We unlocked the Weevil shield. Awesome!
Science!
Next, scan sap. That gives us the workbench, which is super important for crafting. And finally, scan Might Fuzz. Now we can craft arrows. Perfect! Alright, now we are ready to move. Let's go check out that explosion. Pick up a few mushrooms on the way. Good emergency snacks.
Food.
Check the Weevil shield recipe. We need 4 Weevil meat. We've only got 2 so far, so let's hunt a couple more. Ah, there's another Weevil. Perfect timing.
It's a speedy little green corn pup.
Alright, we've spotted something. The soil is moving. That means that there's a grub underground. But to dig it up, we'll need an acorn shovel. Okay, here's an acorn. Let's smash it and craft our shovel. Now, let's go dig up that grub. There we go. We got one. We are now able to craft the Weevil shield later on. Let's collect a few more acorn shells while we are here, just to be safe. And here's another grub right away. Let's get it. There's also a sap clump nearby. If you hit it, you can harvest a good chunk of sap. One clump can give you around 7 sap, which is really useful crafting. Now we are passing by Wolf Spider Den. It's located in a cave beneath the oak tree. There are
Let's see,
two
got a
wolf
new
spiders
one.
in there. They are extremely dangerous. They sleep during the day but wander out at night, so be extra careful.
This place is getting
Before we do
angry
anything
by the
else,
minute.
let's analyze 3 important
Yeah.
materials. Grub hide, acorn shell, and acorn top.
Oh, it's getting dark. Should probably find somewhere to
Also,
crash.
I want to point out this water cooler. This thing gives ultimate clean water.
I got you.
You can come back here anytime to refill your thirst, which is super convenient.
Thanks for the helping hand. I am Burgle, acting science manager for this project. I am also a robot. I am sure this all must be very disorienting for you, but hopefully I can explain. I suspect you were Why are you here in the yard? I do not know. In fact, I cannot seem to recall much of anything. A recent power surge has caused a massive raw science containment explosion. This lab, as you can see, is a disaster. And what's worse, the explosion has disrupted my computing power. My memory banks are corrupted. Sorry to pile on the bad news, my new friend. How can I be of service? You are here, in the Oak Lab, built and used by Dr. Wendell Tuteli to experiment on all things small. This is the base of operations for conducting experiments in his yard. Dr. Tully is a brilliant scientist and inventor. He is also my creator. My initial protocol was to serve as the short order cook of the future. However, I have been recently promoted to acting science manager to assist with his experiments. No doubt my previous work experience has been invaluable to Dr. Tully. Although, now that I am processing it, I have not seen him for several weeks. And now I cannot recall where he went. It must be my corrupted memory banks. It seems you and I are both a little discombobulated. Given my best calculations, your biomass has been subject to covalent spacing reduction via interatomic energy extraction. In other words, you have been shrunk. It is likely this was achieved using Dr. Wendell Tully's spacer platform, patent pending. Shrinking can be a traumatic experience for tiny human brains, and memory loss is a known side effect. Hopefully your memory will return in time. To return to your prior size, you would need to successfully activate Dr. Tully's spacer platform. Unfortunately, my readings indicate it is inoperable. It appears to have suffered several malfunctions from the explosion. I am sorry, but it appears you may be stranded here for some time until we find a solution. Haha! That is a great idea. Let me run a full diagnostic scan on it and see what we need to do to get it fixed up. Processing! Processing! Memory fault. Code 408B3000. Ominent OS script runtime error. Arg! I am sorry again. It appears I have sustained more damage to my memory chips than expected. Without those memories, I do not know how to repair the spacer. Dr. Tully used 2 types of chips to back up my memory. Auxiliary chips are small capacity chips used to store project data. If you find these, I should be able to help you learn new survival recipes. Super chips are special, and they are gold. They back up full directories of my memory system. If we are going to fix the spacer, that data is bound to be on a super chip. I suggest exploring the other labs in the backyard. Return with any memory chips you find. Dr. Tully has built many more labs throughout the yard. Each lab is used for various experimental procedures. I can upload their locations to your Scabby. Processing. Processing. Error. Files not found. Code 632C404. Cheese and fries. The lab locations are missing from my memory banks too. But we are in luck. I was able to retrieve the location of one of the facilities, the Hedge Lab. The Hedge Lab is the observation center of the yard and used for research on arachnid webbing. You will find the hedge near the house if you head southeast. The lab is located deep inside the hedge, sending the coordinates to your Scabby. Try to find the Hedge Lab first, but there is nothing stopping you from searching the yard for the other labs. Except, of course, thousands of angry, hungry insects. That reminds me. Dr. Tully locks the important labs with biometric scanners. You will need access for any chance of success. Head over to the ASL terminal and place your hand on the biometric scanner near it. Give it a moment to sync your signature into the mainframe. Once you are registered, you will be granted access to the ASL network of computers too. ASL grants access to daily work items, nay, tasks, nay, quests, yes, quests. I will reward you raw science for each completed quest. In my science shop, you can trade raw science back for survival recipes from experiments that Wendell conducted when he was first exploring the yard. Log on to the ASL terminal over there and see what is available. Unless you have any other questions, you really should get started finding those chips. And try not to die out there. Have an exponentially great day.
Long story.
Science.
One success after another! I have returned Burgle to his original size! It appears that my new raw science containment field is working at 99%
Now let's check out the test
effectiveness.
terminal.
98.5%. Right, Burgle, right.
It's got 3 new quests for us.
However, as
Kill
Burgle
5
indicates,
grubs,
there is some
build a
minor
roasting spit,
insignificant raw
build a
science
trail
leakage to
marker.
note for another time.
Next, we'll look at the science shop.
But I see no reason to put off a human trial. I believe there should be no issues. But audentes fortuna juvat. I am ready to prove my creation's full potential. End recording. Burgle, I'd like to record some messages for my family in case things do not go as planned.
The most important unlock here is the meat shield mutation. It increases your max health. Mutations are passive perks you can unlock, but it costs 3,000 raw science and we don't have enough yet, so we'll grab it later.
Science.
There's also a mega milk molar in this lab, but we can't break it just yet.
This morning I installed
It requires a
Lab
higher tier
modules.
hammer.
Another one of my forgotten inventions from the early days. I had such grand notions back then.
Before we head out, don't forget to analyze any remaining unscanned materials. The analyzer is fully charged now, so it's a great time to use it.
Into the hands of children, the lawyers will never agree. It's a good thing I never told them about the Bunsen burners.
Science.
Odd that Ominent has been using my toy pieces in this way. I digress. The lab network is now up and running in the backyard. I'm planning to dedicate each one of them to a different function. Main power will run through here, the Oak Lab is the center of operations for the backyard. The second lab is nestled into the hedge. Such wonderful views
Alright,
from up there.
now we need to build a lean-to,
Side note,
so we can sleep and
I'm
save.
worried that Ominent's shoddy manufacturing of the lab pieces will cause them to fall apart over time, but they will do for now.
I recommend setting up your first base right behind this juice box. It's the perfect location because it drops a juice drop almost every day. There's one here right now, but let's save it for tomorrow morning. Now it's time to set up some basic base structures. We'll build a lean-to so we can sleep and set a respawn point. A chest to store extra materials. A roasting spit to cook meat. And a smoothie station for brewing healing drinks and buffs. Also worth mentioning, if you place a water container right under the straw of the juice box, it will automatically collect the juice drops that spawn each day. It's a great way to stock up on clean drinks early on. One more important thing we'll need later is the spinning wheel, but we don't have the right materials for it just yet. For now, let's go ahead and build a workbench. This will allow us to craft all kinds of gear, armor, weapons, tools, you name it. I'll quickly gather the materials nearby. Okay, workbench is done. Let's craft our Weevil shield. It's super useful early in the game. Now I'll set up my hard pouch for easy access during combat. Here's my preferred setup. Slot 1 weapon, slot 2 shield, slot 3 torch for quick switching in the dark. Slot 4 and 5 supplies, usually some meat and bandages. Today we also crafted a bunch of tools. Pebblet axe, acorn shovel, pebblet hammer, pebblet spear, and torch. That wraps up today's episode. If you've got any suggestions to help improve the video, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more beginner-friendly tips. Thanks for watching.